The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Thanks for joining us on the program, everyone. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. You can join the conversation right now on X at TVC News Engine. Remember to use the hashtag Beyond 100 Days, tag at Nifemi Oguntoye. I'm joined by the Commissioner of the FRSC on the show this evening, so you can send in your questions as well. Today is November 25th, and it marks the beginning of a critical 16-day campaign against gender-based violence worldwide. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, joined the global community in commemorating the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, marking the start of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. Gender-based violence remains one of the most widespread human rights violations, with nearly 1 in 3 women worldwide experiencing physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. She says, quote, "I urge us to seize this period as a call to action for each of us to challenge harmful behaviors," end quote. Although Nigeria is making remarkable progress, the First Lady says many women and girls, especially in rural and underserved areas, remain trapped in these cycles of violence and inequality. A National Assembly will actively contribute in the development of the next National Action Plan on Violence Against Women. That's the message from the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, just as the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Gotokun, assured women that all cases of gender-based violence will be prosecuted. National Assembly correspondent Joki Adisa has details.
In a bold move to combat gender-based violence, Nigeria's House of Representatives has officially flagged off 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. Approximately 736 million women, representing 1 in 3, have experienced physical or sexual intimate partner violence, non-partner sexual violence, or both, at least once in their lifetime. The Speaker of the House of Representatives and the senior principal officers are at the front line of this campaign. The solidarity walk was from the National Assembly complex to the main entrance.
National Assembly, particularly the House of Representatives, will play an active role in the next National Action Plan against women violence that will be coming up very soon.
It's high time we start to take the documentation of all the violence that we have had in the past.
The Office of Ministry of Youth will be coming up with an help desk whereby all the youth in this country, most especially the women and the girls, can communicate with us.
This is part of a wider global effort to address gender-based violence, which is one of the world's most persistent human rights violations.
The police should increase the number of gender desks in police stations across the country to provide a safe and supportive environment for survivors of gender-based violence.
We're using this as a rallying call to everyone to continually do something, say something where you see something, provide support to survivors.
On arrival at the police headquarters, a petition for a call to action is submitted to the Inspector General of Police.
When we have issues of gender-based violence at the police stations, we want to get justice.
The Inspector General of Police also agrees with the call to action. He says eradicating violence against women and children is a collective obligation.
We must all come together and put our actions together to eradicate this unacceptable reality in our communities.
This annual call to action, which runs until December 10th, amplifies the voices of women and girls demanding a world free from violence and abuse. The assurance has come from the Inspector General of Police, and all they wait for is the extent to which the police will live to its expectations. Joki Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
And now to our main discussion on the show. The Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, has called for a unified approach to tackle the high incidence of road accidents in Nigeria. The campaign for this year's Ember Month is retooling FRSC for organizational effectiveness from policy formulation to strategic implementation. It focuses on multiple fronts, from stricter law enforcement to improving public awareness. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has passed the second reading for a bill seeking to empower officers of the Federal Road Safety Commission to bear arms in order to make the agency operate better. The bill also seeks to empower the FRSC with powers of clearing of obstruction on any part of the public roads and for educating drivers, motorists, and other members of the public generally on the proper use of public roads. I'm joined now by Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety, Shehu Mohammed. Corps Marshal Mohammed, thank you so much for finding time to join us on the program this evening.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you. Let's begin with the recent update on the clampdown on fake diplomatic and unauthorized number plates. What prompted this directive, and what specific measures are you taking to enforce it?
Well, we received a report from the diplomatic cycle showing concern on the proliferation of diplomatic numbers being used by the general public. And we felt we owe a duty to take action and clamp down on those recalcitrant motorists that are using the number plate, diplomatic number plate, to go about their normal duties. So we quickly took action. We sent messages to the media houses. We also sent reports to the security agencies to calm down on those diplomatic numbers being used illegally.
You mentioned that they are fraudulently produced by suspected criminals. Can you share more about the sources of these fake plates and how they are being distributed?
Well, we cannot really say where those number plates are being produced. You know, Nigerians, whatever you do legally, some few elements would like to do it illegally. And I'm sure that in some places where the DSS, the police will be able to identify those areas and, you know, bring them to book. On our own part, when we get the information, we normally relate to the police, the DSS, and other security agencies that have the mandate to apprehend and bring those, you know, illegal producers to book.
Lastly, Corps Marshal, what does this directive mean for motorists with customized number plates, you know, with perhaps their names or appellation on it?
No, those are customized number plates. They are legal. They go through the normal process through the state Board of Internal Revenues before it gets to us for the production. We have their record. They are legal, and therefore they can go about their normal duties and normal use of those number plates without any, you know, hindrance.
Some motorists have also reported experiencing delays and some bureaucratic bottlenecks when it comes to trying to obtain number plates. I know there have been attempts at digitizing the registration process, but what's being done to make the process seamless?
When I came on board, you know, we have to key into the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President. One of it is the ease of doing business. So we quickly, you know, try to see how we can strategize and improve on our product. This product are the number plate and the driver's license. That was the first place I, you know, went for a visit, and I channel out all the challenges that we're having, and I discussed with our partners that normally give us the input, especially the production input for those number plate and the driver's license. And we all agree that with a timeline of 6 months, we are going to improve on both the driver's license and the number plate. And you can also agree with me that for now, we have started improving. And by the grace of God, in the next few months, we shall be able to deliver the mandate we are supposed to. And as we agreed that we are going to improve on it, we are really truly going to improve on it.
Work in progress. But precisely, just for some clarity, what advice do you give, do you have for members of the public who may unknowingly be using these fake number plates? What's the best course of action for them to take to avoid prosecution?
We have this our mobile app, the FRC mobile app. It is a one-stop shop that will bring the motorists and the general public closer to us. Without necessarily going to our office, you can use the mobile app to know whether the number plate you are using is genuine, or rather the driver's license you are using is genuine, for you to be able to continue to use it. And then you can also make complaint through the mobile app to us. We have 24-hour, desk officers in the office where they receive all those complaints through the mobile app, and we take action immediately to make sure that at least things are being done right.
Commercial motorists now say that your men penalize faded number plates. I'm curious, what is the course policy in this regard?
Yes, of course. When a number plate faded, there's a process to make it new, to renew it, to make it more legible. Because faded number plate, you cannot identify from a distance or even from a close range what number the vehicle is using. And the number plate is the identity of the vehicle. It's not the driver, it's the identity of the vehicle. So with a faded number plate, there's no way you can identify a vehicle, whether it is commercial, whether it is a personal vehicle or commercial or whatever, or articulated. So it's the number plate that normally identified such vehicles to be used. And therefore, we really don't take it easily and take it lightly with the faded number plate. And we advise motorists with faded number plate to come to us, to come to our office, and probably get that number plate sorted. We can reprint it. We reprint it at lesser cost to the motoring public so that they can be able to enjoy, their number. What used to happen is while washing the vehicle, sometimes they use chemicals. Those chemicals are not in tandem with the paint being used by the number plate, and therefore it gets it, over time, washing over time, it gets it faded, and then it will no longer be, legible for a motor vehicle, or rather a vehicle to be used as a number.
Fair enough, commercial, but some people have also said, why do they have to pay as much as 25,000 naira to get a new number plate? I've heard some say, you know what, FRSC should hold itself accountable too for the poor quality of this number plate. I hear you talk about chemicals, but people have said rather than penalizing vehicle owners with fines, perhaps you should also pay attention to the quality of number plates you are dishing out. Omasha, can you hear me?
Most of the number, yes, I can hear you now. So most of the number plates faded over time. It's not number plate that is being used for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Some those number plates that you see faded are being used for over 10 years at times. So you can imagine, even with time, using number plate for over 10 years, watching it every day or every time, it's expected. It's normal. It's normal. The average, lifespan of a vehicle is supposed to be, by depreciation, 4 or 5 years. But in Nigeria, it takes up to 20 years. You see vehicles of 20, 30 years being used on the road. So if a vehicle is using number plate for a certain number of years, you should expect that it will get faded, the number plate will get faded, and therefore there's the need for that number plate to be renewed as much as the vehicle will continue to, fly the road. It's normal.
Well, some have said that in other climes, though, that the number plates actually have a higher lifespan than what we have in Nigeria. And perhaps you might just want to, do a little research and see if that is true. But quickly, Speak to us about alternatives, because 25,000 naira is a lot of money in this economy. Can't I just paint my faded number plate? I mean, look for a permanent marker, paint it red or blue.
It's not possible. It's not 25,000 for the renewed number plate. It is not. It is 15,000. And wow. You can also agree with me that in other climes, they charge number plate based on the cost of the vehicle. So if your vehicle is 5 million, they charge certain percentage to that as the cost of number plate. But here in the country, in Nigeria, we are moderate. The price of number plate depends on the state you are buying the number plate, because it's purely a revenue generating venture for state. So it's the Board of Internal Goods that normally put prices for those number plates. As for us, we charge 15,000 for the production cost of such number plates, and we push it to the state. It is the state that determines how much they sell their number plate based on what they want to realize as far as revenue generation is concerned.
My producer is just telling me that he paid 25,000 naira to get a new one in Lagos. Let's take a short break, call Marshall, and we'll be back with more. Stay with us, everyone.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do solemnly
call Marshal Shehu Mohammed, Commissioner of the Federal Road Safety Corps. Thank you so much for staying the course on the program. Let's turn our attention now quickly to the Commission's Ember Month sensitization campaign. I'm looking at a theme here. Perhaps you can confirm it for me. Speak up against dangerous driving. Crashes kill more passengers than drivers. That's this year's theme, right? Commissioner, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you now.
2024 theme is speaking up against dangerous driving, right?
Yes.
So how does that work?
This time around, we try to, change the paradigm, have a paradigm shift from the traditional motor garage, motor park rally to sensitize few drivers and few commuters that are, getting ready to travel. Because we felt and we understood that even when a crash occurs, it is only one driver and then many passengers. So this time around, we look inward. We try to see that we bring commuters, not only the motor park rally, motor park garage rally, but also the commuters. We give more emphasis on the press conferences, town hall meetings, where we assemble all the potential drivers, potential passengers, community leaders, religious leaders, academics, so that we brainstorm, we get feedback from them, and also let the general public and the motoring public that, yes, we're there for them, and that they shouldn't allow their driver to speed, they shouldn't allow their driver to, do unlawful driving, reckless driving, and put them into jeopardy. That's why this time around, the theme of this year is avoid dangerous driving, and then speak out when you are,
Interestingly, I just wanted to speak about that speaking up and speaking out. How do you advise passengers in the commercial bus, for instance, who have a reckless driver? How do they speak out? There were conversations as to, can they shout on the driver? Is it safe? Who do they report to in that instance?
That's why we brought in the FRC mobile app. If a passenger has the FRC mobile app, it is one-stop shop, as I said earlier. If the passenger has it with him as he's driving, the mobile app would tell him that the driver is for speed, and once it reaches 100 kilometers per hour, it will start making sound to tell the passenger that this driver is going beyond the speed limit, and therefore you can caution the driver. They can also, the passenger might not be only one passenger in the vehicle. there may be, you know, multiple passengers that they can put it together to caution the driver, or they can report directly to us through the mobile app. That's what we call the eyewitness report on the mobile app, whereby you can speak to us, you can talk to us, you can take the picture and send to us directly, and then our control room in the headquarters will be able to get it, and then probably alert the closest office that we have, or the patrol unit, to be able to stop the driver and caution the driver on, you know, how he's driving the passengers to their destination.
We ask our viewers to send in some questions, Marshal, and one of it has to do with whether the FRSA is considering alternatives like community service, traffic education, and warnings to its punitive approach for traffic defaulters, considering the current economic realities of the average Nigerian.
Yeah, we have been doing that. What we used to do is to bring the offender to our office and then probably put some public enlightenment, you know, tips and clips for the person to watch, especially the ugly side of crash victims, crash scenes, and whatever, so that in most cases it works, because when the offender finishes seeing such ugly clips and how it happens, they normally get sober and also feel that, oh, from now henceforth, I'm no longer going to speed again, or I'm not going to do wrongful overtaking or other, you know, wrongful driving habit or driving culture. We have been doing it. We cannot, is the law that cannot put that on our act as it is now. It's not in our act. It's not in our mandate and core mandate. So we cannot implement community service for traffic offenders. What we can do is to continue to sensitize them and then also, you know, advocate for a good driving culture.
We have a few more minutes, but let's talk about why FRSC officers have to carry arms. You know, because you talked about education. I mean, one would think that it would be more impactful if we are friendly towards the motorists, and then there's a friendly approach. The House of Reps has now passed the second reading for a bill seeking to empower officers of the FRSC to bear arms. Why do your men have to carry guns?
This is a very good question, which has been born in the mind of the motoring public and the general public. FRSC personnel are recruited from the same climate, the same environment, you know, community, society, and they are Nigerians. They are our children, they are our brothers and sisters, so they need love, they need compassion, they need support. And in a situation where they go on the road and then drivers, you know, deliberately run over them, kill them, and then leave their families in agony for years, you know, it's unacceptable. We have facilities, we are over 35 years now. FRC is over 35 years. If vigilante in some states are carrying arms, why not FRC that is disciplined? What I was thinking probably for the general public to support FRC is in terms of training and retraining, capacity building, so that we'll continue to have that discipline to be able to hold the arms, but not to kick against the usage of arms. And we keep on saying it's not the whole FRC staff that are going to carry arms, it's just a squad. What it means by squad is when they need support, where we need it, the squad can now go and intervene and give them support. And we're also saying that we want to also protect our infrastructure. You know, our offices, our houses. As you remember, as it is today, our men are the one guarding our offices, guarding our houses, and they do that without any arm. The way the country it is today, they need arm to be able to deter, not really to even to deter criminals away from our facilities, away from houses, away from our offices. That's what we are looking for.
I hear you.
We need compassion. We need love.
We have completely run out of time. We are hoping that in addition to this arm carrying, that the Commission will also work into its policy, the training, the understanding of how to handle this gun, so that we don't have, you know, more issues of more security issues we've had with other carrying agencies. Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed, we wish you all the best, and thank you so much for talking to us on the program this evening.
Thank you very much for having me in the studio. Thank you.
Glad to have you. The conversation continues on X at Nifemi Oguntoye, tag at TVC News NG. That's our program today, everyone. You can watch it again at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC